Got the overboost on. We're gonna torque brake it. And it didn't launch that hard. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Gosh, those upshifts are so freaking fast. The 2022 Hyundai KONA N is a vehicle that you don't think would ever exist. A somewhat hot hatch. It's almost like more of a hot SUV because it sits really high off the ground compared to a typical hatchback. Underneath the hood of this front-wheel drive burnout machine is a 2-liter, 286 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque. This thing can do 0 to 60 around 5 seconds. I drove this in 2 places. I drove it in Atlanta around Atlanta Motorsports Park. That was incredible on track. I also drove this around the Redwood Forest in California when I drove the Hyundai Santa Cruz pickup. This thing is really fun to drive, but it is a one-track mind, literally. This vehicle is bred and designed for the track. And as I go over that broken pavement with iron or steel sheaths, this vehicle is absolutely jarring. I found that out driving in the imperfect roads in the Redwood Forest. And it's even true here in my smooth, flat, boring but good roads here in Florida. This thing is super stiff. Now, there's a few things you can do to work around that. You can put it in N mode. And N mode puts it into its racing mode. But there are different customizations. I have in customization 1 here, I'm able to tune the suspension, the adaptive dampers to the softest setting, and I can still act like a hooligan. You also have excellent paddle shifters on here. There it goes. And you get that little fart at the end too with this 8-speed DCT. And it doesn't let you bang it off the red limiter there. I'm gonna slow down here, get in the brakes. The brakes are great. Of course, they're oversized for the track performance nature of this vehicle. This vehicle comes around $36,000. I'm gonna take it out of N mode because it's just too obnoxious. And the best way to do it, there's a little drive mode knob down here, and you can just put it back into normal. It tones out the exhaust note a little bit. There's also, believe it or not, an eco driving mode in here. And this vehicle and eco don't go together. Then there's a sport and a snow mode as well. So at least it has some characteristics from the normal Kona. Even the downhill ascent control is carried over from the normal Kona. I left this end screen up here because it is unique to this vehicle, as well as the Elantra N. The Elantra N is a better vehicle than this. It is more fun to drive. You get the 6-speed manual as an option. That 6-speed manual is an absolute hoot. That vehicle's also louder when you want it to be. It pops and gurgles more. It looks better than this Kona N. I don't think the Kona N looks bad, but the base Kona already looks a little overstyled, and the Elantra is a little bit more dialed back and a little bit more clean cut. And so therefore the Elantra N not only looks better than this vehicle, it handles and drives better, just marginally. And then the back seat of also the Elantra is better suited for passengers. You have more legroom back there. It's so tight in the back of this vehicle, I don't enjoy getting back there. I found that out in my Kona inline drive review, which that's a 1.6 turbo. This is way more potent, like 100 more horsepower with this 2-liter turbo. And why not put it into back to N mode? You have these buttons on the steering wheel that instantly puts it into like a racing mode. Fighting for traction there. That gurgle, that pop. It is fun, but man, I feel like this is just popping me all about. And even though the roads are decent, let's try to hit that last downshift here to first. There aren't that many cars that give you that sort of like auditory satisfaction. When you push this car, you just hear that turbo hissing at you through the firewall of the car. It is a loud experience in every sense of the word, but that's what you want in a vehicle like this that is designed and bred for the track, but it is somewhat streetable on a legal term. I love the brake press here because I'm pushing on it all the way down. The pedal won't go any further. It still only says 95%. We also have 8 cogs here on this little piece to let you know what gear you're in. And yeah, not the best vehicle for the streets. If I had a vehicle like this, I would almost like feel required to take it to the track. This thing is not, like I said, it's so stiff for the streets, and I have it in my custom mode, which gives me a softer suspension, and it's still pretty aggressive out here on baby bottom smooth streets. Talk about the interior. I mean, these seats are absolutely incredible. It's a little bit of a mix between this leather material, synthetic leather, I believe is what it is, with this suede on the inside. We have the N logo as well at the top of the seat. I don't think they're quite as cool as the Elantra N seats, and that's kind of unfortunate because this car costs like $4 grand more than the Elantra N. We do have heated seats in here though, that's nice. We have not only a tuning knob and a volume knob, but we have knobs for climate control. So the ergonomics in here for usability is top notch, to be honest. We also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have to plug in your phone for that though. You also have a wireless charger in here. With all this technology and amenities in here and the comfort of these seats, you can drive this as a daily driver, but it is still not like ideal. I actually prefer to drive the Honda HR-V in my driveway with the CVT. It's slow as shit. Excuse my language, it's so slow, but the amenities in that vehicle are awesome. The comfort's there. It's a much more quiet vehicle. This vehicle is just, I can't drive it normally because it's not rewarding. It's not fun to drive as a normal everyday car. You get in this thing and you have these paddle shifters, these buttons screaming at you, this in-grid shift button that gives you 20 seconds of overboost. Like, that's all I want to do in this car, and it is not it's not safe or normal for me to want to do this, but on a regular basis. That's why I like take all this out, and I would be a little bit more happy with just a normal point A to point B vehicle. And yes, a normal Kona can do that for you just fine. So I'm comparing apples to oranges, and it's really just hard to review this vehicle absent of it being put on a track or an environment where you can just beat the hell out of it. So who is the Kona N for? Well, if you plan on racing people at stoplights, this thing kind of looks like a sleeper. Most people wouldn't expect a Kona to be fast and crazy and rambunctious. Also, this could be a great everyday driver for someone who plans to take their vehicle to the track. I mean, you have the versatility of a crossover minus the all-wheel drive. With this big hatchback, you can fold down the seats, but man, I wouldn't want to put people in the back seat for very long, especially if they're taller than like 5'5". So Hyundai, I'm glad you made the Kona N. It brings a huge smile to my face. Press the in-grid shift button and I'm doing like it is. And then you hear the gurgled exhaust. This vehicle does make me very happy and very smiley, but I don't see myself keeping my license very long if I own something like this, unless I can take it to the track and get my hooligan out. But straight hooligan this vehicle is, it makes me happy, and I'd much rather have the 6-speed manual Elantra N over this because I can dial it back. It has a better ride, has more passenger space in the back, it looks better, and it's just a happier vehicle for me personally. Anyways, I'm gonna end it there. Just a quick little review and drive, nothing too crazy, but just wanted to show you how silly this vehicle is, how much fun it can bring you, and how in some ways impractical it can be at the same time, as I just want to lose my license in this vehicle as the turbo sounds like a cobra hissing in my face. Anyways, I'm gonna end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed for more Hyundai news. Can't wait to get the Elantra N in my driveway for a week-long review. I'd go more into that vehicle because I feel like I can control myself just a tad bit more in that as I throw around this in the turn. Oh gosh, it's so stiff. Oh gosh. Okay, anyways, you probably get about 25 miles per gallon on this if you can drive it sanely, but no one would be able to do that who has a little bit of fun in their hearts. See you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves and peace out.